make sure nothing's gone horribly wrong yet.
Yeah, that sounds good. And just FYI, Yonan, I think we have two people who are newer to Labii. So I know today is more about looking at updates, but
yeah,
I guess just keep that in mind as well too.
sure. So I think for those two, I may can give some separate trainings just after this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. So should I get started?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you, Jack, for organizing this meeting. And for us, like during the pandemic, we focus on updating the new features, and we're able to do that. Most of us are working at home. So here's a new version we recently released. So I would like to give you some updates. So for today, it will mostly focus on in the new version. And then I will also give you the overview of all the widgets that we developed in the past year. And then the major updates is like we updated the usability and then make the whole platform more stable and then less bugs. Of course, we also updated the loading speed. So you may already experience everything is so much faster compared to before, but we're continually working on it. We hopefully like we will going to update the backend as well. So making the load speed even faster. So one of the changes we made is like we made the smarter forms. Like you may notice whenever you tap, it will give you some arrows at real time. It will tell you whether it's valid something or not. If you did not fill in all the required information, this submit button will not going to be working. So it's always give you gray. And on the icon field, like whenever you tap something, it will give you some kind of preview. It will also give you the drop down. It will auto complete for you. And we also provide the picture preview. Whenever you select a picture, it can give you the preview for you directly inside the Labii. So that's one thing. The second thing, like for all these queries, all this field is being updated, like is required property is changed to required, and then the interface is being updated a little bit over here. And then the whole loading button is being updated. Previously, you only see like this kind of the spinning. You have no idea what's going on the back end. But right now, we change this to percentage. We tell you exactly how much time it's going to take to finish this kind of process. This is basically included in the import. Like if you import a lot of data into Labii, it will tell you exactly the percentage of what's going on. And then there's one function, like whenever you need to add a section, this is what it looks like before. Like you have to search and then it gives you the top widgets you are using, and then you have to click the category to find each category. The new interface will more like this. All the category is on the sidebar. You can click the category directly, and then the actual widget is on the right side, and then you can select a widget. So it's much more convenient, less clicks compared to before. And then the signature is also being majorly changed. You will notice this is before you only need to provide your login password, but right now we also require something more like a joining signature. So this is like we're actually supporting the iPad, iPhone. So like if you're using iPad and then you want to sign with your iPad directly, so that's going to be very convenient. And then after you sign, this is what it looks like now. So all your signature can be previewed directly from here. And then for files uploading, you may already notice this is what's going on before. Like you only see something like just going files like it's uploading, but right now everything's changed. You will see the first files loading, the second files loading. This uploading speed is based on the internet speed. If you have a quick internet speed, you will see this goes so much faster compared to if you have a slower internet speed. So this is more easy to checking what's going on the back end. And then previously we create the object first, which means if you're doing this, the two files already inside the Labii, even if it failed to upload. But right now we change it. Like if you fail to upload this one, this record will not inside the Labii. You have to re-upload it until it's all successfully uploaded. And then going on, we also add a few new settings, like for example, like should hide the metadata, should hide the preview. So this is what it looks like. You can hide all these tables, like we call the metadata. Once you hide it, like sales table name description sets will be hidden. You're only able to see the preview. You can also hide the preview directly from here. Once you hide it, you only see the metadata. And actually you can hide both. Like if you hide both, you only see this, like only see, you can still download the file, you can still load the preview, but this is just, if you say you uploaded like 10, 100 files at the same time, you don't want to preview it or see so much metadata, this will give you so much space. And then since list of files widget have so much functionalities, we were going to kind of remove these two widgets that you guys may be using before. One is called file. This is very similar to the files. This one only allowed one file. So we just said we're not going to support this one because once you're using files, only upload one file is actually identical. And then previously, there's one widget called files no preview. This one will not give you the preview of the files, but actually with the new files, you can just hide the preview. So this will give you the same functionalities. So this one will going to be deprecated as well. So just keeping in mind. In case of the activity, we also make it like organized based on the date times that what's been changed. This is what you see before. After we changed every single day, like how much changes being made, you're able to see it directly from here. And then we also updated the timer inside the step. Like if you like ever use the step function, it gives you step 1, step 2. You remember previously you can add a timer more like this, but this is only limited 1 timer per step. Right now, we just remove this functionality. You can insert a timer just more like this. As I described here, you just say timer and then add how much time you want. So this will continually, which allow you insert multiple timers at the same time. You can say, hey, do this step for 5 minutes, and then you can just directly doing this. And then when you're actually doing the experiment, just click it, it will start to count down automatically directly for you. So this will make it more convenient. And some other new features is also added to the backlink. The backlink is more like when you refer to something and then you're trying to refer it back. For example, you say this sample is using the protocol 1 to process. The sample 2 is also using protocol 1. And then after a while, you say, hey, how much sample is using the protocol 1? When you go back to the protocol 1, you can using this backlink to see all the data referred to it. So right now we add a new function. We enable you to import and then do a list view. So the list view is more like the currently when you fill the experiment, you're able to manage export, import. So it's going to be very convenient for you as well. And then for the wells, we also updated the layout. This is what the well looks like before. It's more like Excel. It's kind of familiar what you already using in Excel. But in the new version, it's more like a well layout. And then it will give you the latest on the sidebar and then the numbers on the top. And then currently we support all wells, 6, 12, 24, 48, 96, and 384, so like give you this kind of layout. Similar to the ELISA and then dose response curve, and then the layout all being changed. So you can just click the edit plate to change it, and then it will give you very nice display directly. And then we also updated PDF preview. Previously, you may notice the PDF preview just looks like this. You cannot enlarge it if it's too small. And then in the new version, we actually supported all the PDF preview, like in the new version. You can zoom it in, zoom it out, and then you can screw it directly. So this actually takes so much less space. The new version also supports a new kind of workflow. And then previously, there's a workflow button on the sidebar, and then we remove that. And instead we add a workflow widget. There's so many differences. One of the major differences is like previously, you can only add one workflow per record, but right now you can add multiple workflow, which means each of section can be a new workflow. And we also, in a new version, we're able to check in the status of each step. Yeah, for example, when you finish the first one, you just need to click the box. It will mark as completed directly. And then you can continue with the second one, the third one, so you can just click it directly. And we also add some new widgets, like, for example, the calendar widget. You can insert this calendar widget into your experiments. For some experiments that take more than 1 day or take a few weeks, you can schedule what you need to do inside this calendar. Like the first day you need to prepare and then do something else. So everything can be seen directly from this calendar widget. And then besides that, we also add a scheduling widget. The scheduling widget is basically useful. Originally, it's designed to schedule for the equipment. For example, one equipment in the lab, and when some people is using it, and then you want to see like how, like whether it's being token or not. So when you open the equipment actually inside the Labii, you're able to see, hey, this equipment is being used by someone, and then you want to schedule your time. But right now, it can also be used to schedule the rooms, like especially right now during the pandemic, you want to limit how many people inside which lab, and then you just create a lab and say, hey, this lab, and to see whether people is using it, and then you can also using this kind of schedule functionalities. And then this is the importing. The new version of the importing will give you a lot of information. Firstly, it will give you the progress bar, see like what the progress looks like. And then it will tell you what's the current job, and then some other notes. And if something goes wrong, it will give you the error message at real time, like directly from here. And then in case search functionalities is also being improved. This is what it looks like before. And right now its layout is being changed. You're able to see the deep search, advanced search, and scan some QR code directly from here. And then we also highlight the keywords that you are trying to search. So that's basically the updates. And is there any questions?
Question on the calendar widget. I guess I'm trying to figure out what the functionality of that. That would be put into a entry if it spans multiple days and multiple steps. And so does the highlight of the day move along in real time on what day you are, or do you have to enter in those dates yourself and figure out what day it is today, for example?
So the highlight will move along like based on the day. Like for example, this one, when I take a picture, it's the May 25th. So after May 20th, for example, if May 26th, it will automatically highlight the May 26th.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.